I came up with the idea pretty quickly. So I wanted something to everybody remember him by. So it was after the funerals and after everybody was home, and I came up with the idea to have a practice court. Jack started drawing up plans and working with the construction company, and when he brought the plans to me and showed them, I was pretty shocked because I was expecting one court and we had three and a food court.
He told me how his boy was killed in a wreck, and he had some money, and he had some people backing him a little bit.
There's a settlement from the accident, and we used that to take a loan. And got a loan to build the courts.
You know, I have three daughters, and you start thinking about your own kids, and you know, you're thinking, what if that was me? And how brave he is and how strong he is to try to generate this money towards something positive. And when he, you know, what people don't know, he was dying himself.
Jackie did a tremendous job in covering the boat. He refuses to take credit for it, though. We'll see you next spring in the water, folks.
When it won't start.
When it won't start.
I was diagnosed with ALS just a little bit more than 4 years ago.
And what is that?
It is a degenerative neuromuscular disease that affects, eventually affects your muscles and causes them to deteriorate.
He was not the typical Lou Gehrig's patient, you know, that's older. He was in his 30s still when we found out.
We opened in May of 2000.
Here we go. Thunder on three. 1, 2, 3, thunder!
Yeah, I mean, I had doubt, but you know, we worked hard, we worked together, we had a mission, and we put a lot of hours, put a lot of dedication into it. We tried to do it for the right reasons, and people just started coming, and teams started coming, and we started filling up leagues. And
it turned out to be a great project. I do remember I think the first tournament we had kids come in and stuff all the toilets with paper towels, and it flooded the bathrooms. So that was an eye-opening experience to owning a public building.
I mean, yeah, it was, it was a pretty neat thing after 1 year going, wow, how'd we pull this off? I mean, you know, I sit back today and even think, man, this is just amazing when I sit back here and just look around some days. Jack had gotten pretty sick, and he says, I can't do this anymore. I personally could not do it, so I had to get a backer, and that's when I went to Bob McBride.
One day we just got talking about the courts, and
he said, sure, you know, I would like to, you know, I'll sit down and talk about it.
So I met him and went to lunch with him at the courts, and he said he had Lou Gehrig's disease, and he said, you know, this is really hard on me, and you know, I don't think I'm going to be around much longer. I would like for you to potentially take this thing over for me.
I was concerned that we would not be able to run it as he progressed, and that's kind of what happened, and that's why we sold it.
We first cut the deal. Jack stayed on with the courts, and I told him that he could stay there and work till he didn't want to come anymore. And Jack literally worked till, I don't remember how long it was, but he came to work every day.
Dad's snoozing on the couch like usual.
He was as hard-headed as you can get. He had his mind set, and you wasn't gonna veer from it. But you know, even in his later days with his Lou Gehrig's, he tried to pick up a piece of paper, and he couldn't pick it up, and I'd go pick it up for me, and he'd tell me, put it back down. I'm gonna get it. I mean, that was Jack.
He never listened to what the doctors told him, and he just eaten lunch, and he came out, and I said, I'm not going to be out here. I've got it to go in the house. And he said, well, I don't need a babysitter. And he was determined he wanted to listen to the Cardinal baseball game and lay on the raft in the pool. And we had windows in the back of the house, so, you know, it was literally just 20 feet from the back door, and you could see the pool at all times. And so I had just gone in and got a load of laundry and sat down on the sofa, and Marae came down the stairs and she said, "I don't see Dad." And I had just looked, and he had just been holding on to the edge in the shallow end. And when I jumped up and looked out, he was face down in the deep end. What had happened, which is very typical with Lou Gehrig's patients, and like I said, against his doctor's orders, he had eaten a large lunch and laid down, and they have trouble with swallowing, and he actually aspirated his lunch into his lungs, and that's how he passed.
You know, watching him go, he played college football at Missouri. He was an offensive guard. He weighed 290, I believe, in college. To watch him go to when he passed away and probably weighed maybe 120 pounds, that was devastating. You know, the main thing, he taught me how to actually believe in myself. You know, trust yourself, trust your gut feelings, trust you're doing things right.
You know, I love coming out here and just, you know, with every, you know, the wood floors, the curtains, everything, you know, people are excited about it. And, you know, it's just been a fun process for us to, you know, just see the whole thing. And, you know, I've enjoyed it, and hopefully it keeps going.
The sports were a big part of our family's life. I believed in the values learned in sports were very important. They're important to me, and I was giving my children the opportunity to learn those values and develop their interests.
And to see where it's come now with the new floors and the dividers and the, you know, the new goals, everything just looks, you know, really high level, you know, and I think it's something that Springfield needed for a long time. It's something that Springfield finally got and is taking advantage of now. And it's great to see all the kids really, you know, coming in here and respecting the place and understanding how important it is, you know, and in their role as to becoming good basketball players.
I've coached many teams, youth teams here in Springfield. I enjoy being around the kids because of their genuineness. Enjoy that, quite frankly, more than being around adults, because how genuine and how much fun they have.
Probably since day one, even after 11 and a half years, it's been about, you know, when I get down and I'm putting the hours in and I'm doing this, I come out here and it's quiet, and I think about Jack, and that Jack and Kyle, and that kind of gets me through it.